Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof's SimCity Let's Plays. I'm going to continue on with my first city. Now let's see where we left off here. Oh yeah, I was really low on cash, so I stopped building because I had not enough money for anything new. I'm pretty sure that I should keep my money for the fire department because I'm expecting my first fire to hit me today or maybe tomorrow, and then later on I'm probably going to have another expense when I have to build the police station when I get my first criminal. As for the workforce, I have just enough low wealth workers. I have some medium wealth workers, but they're not really necessary, and neither are the high wealth workers. As for the goods, I have some unsatisfied low wealth and some unsold goods for the medium wealth. That's all fine. It's not a big deal. Let's see about the school. School is off. It's 6:30 p.m., which means I have another 12 hours before I even need a school. And here it is, the first fire, like I said. Let's see, it's over here. Yep, our factory has managed to catch on fire. Now, let's get this fire department online. Since there is enough space right here, and even for upgrades, I'm going to put my fire department right here. But I, at the moment, don't have enough simoleons. Fire department is 20,000. And this fire is going to keep burning, and in order to avoid it getting onto other buildings, I'm just going to bulldoze this space around the building and make sure that the fire is isolated, since I don't have enough cash to buy the fire station. Now hopefully the fire won't spread over the street, but we are about to see if I'm right or wrong. And now I have enough money for the fire station, so I'm going to plop it right here. And like I said, by isolating this building, it was the only one that burned down and the fire did not spread. So I'm going to bulldoze it and return the industrial zone right here. The first upgrade for the fire station is usually the necessary one, which gives you the ability to send fire trucks on the fire faster because you place this fire alarm. And since I have enough cash, I'm going to use it. Since my sims are probably getting pretty happy right about now, yes, I can see I have somebody is at 20 happiness, more than 20, somebody is a bit lower than 20, so a good portion of these low wealth sims are pretty happy. The medium wealth sims take far longer to be happy and far more services and goods, so I usually just look out for the low wealth and when they can advance to medium density. As I said, they're pretty well on their way. At around 30 happiness they will go to medium density, so this is the time that I should probably take care of these zones. I need to dezone the sides of the street where I do not wish for the exits and entrances for the medium wealth buildings to be on. So, since I said that I'm going to have the entrances and exits on the right side of the street, I need to dezone the left sides of the street. The same goes for the commercial, since you want to have your commercial exits and entrances close to the residential so that they can just walk to their shops and do not have to go and drive and create traffic problems. Now it's 5 AM and I should probably turn on the school. Now that that's done, I see that I have some empty space here that I have not used for residential. But the trick is the entrances and exits would be on top of this street, and this is kind of a dead-end street because it ends with the wind power plant and the sewage outfall pipe up here, and I don't really need any sims to be living in that area. So I'm going to keep expanding my city, but onto here, onto this side. Get the avenue all the way to the end and see just how many more neighborhoods I can create here. Now I will keep zoning commercial and residential only in these neighborhoods. Now that my school is full once again, but I am not getting any requests from my sims to upgrade the school capacity, I'm going to have to pay for it myself. Going to add some school buses and keep the network of school bus stops for children up and running all the way to the end of this side. Now, if I look at the coverage from the clinic, I can see that it is good on this side, but on the left side there is close to no coverage. This is because the ambulances have to go all the way to the end of the avenue and then turn onto these sides. Now, I could make their lives easier if I were to connect this avenue and this street over here, or I could just add some more ambulances. Because I don't wish to create the four-way intersection here, I am going to just add one more ambulance bay. As for the police station, I now have my first criminal at large, which means I need to build the police station. Police station costs 30,000 and right now I am going to have that money. There we go. Now the police station, I could put it here in the middle, but the police station, just like the school, creates an intersection because the cars go off from the lot through a street and then onto the avenue. So in order to avoid creating that intersection on my runabout, I'm going to put my police station over here, because if I'm copying this neighborhood onto this side, I'm going to have the space over here free for these civic buildings, just I have it up here. So I'm going to place the police station right about here. Now from here the police is going to have easy access to all these 4 avenues and all 4 parts of my city. The quarter of the city down here is going to look pretty much the same as this one up here, but on this side, in order to avoid having 4-way intersections either over here with these that I create later on or these I have already created like this, I'm going to take the avenue and draw it like this and then have the streets going from the left to the right. That way none of these avenues are going to have 4-way intersections, and each one of them is going to be ending in T intersections, just like over here and here. Now if I look at here, I see the reason why I have created a criminal. This is because I have unemployment. Because of the extra low-wealth workers I created here, I created unemployed workers and therefore a criminal. Now in order to employ these guys, I need to create some more industry. But I need to check where exactly can I build industry. I can build a little bit of industry up here close to the end of this avenue. So I'm going to need to use the same trick I used before to measure just how far do I need to go in order to place medium density buildings later on. Now over here I have a slight issue of connecting this street with this avenue, but that's fine. I can just end it sooner, take another road, set it up parallel to this one, connect the two, and then connect the second one to the avenue. Now all I have to do is watch out that I zone the industry as far away from the water as possible. I now have 778 students, but only enough capacity for 550, which means that I can either upgrade my grade school or create a library. Since the library costs only 100 per hour and can fit 200 sims, I am going to go with a library. Now, since these sims have an easy access to the school because it's on the avenue that is feeding onto their streets, I'm going to put the library over here for these sims to have easy access. Now if I look at the jobs again, I can see that now I have 62 jobs available because all of these industrial buildings have hired all the unemployed workers. Now that I have some nice cash in my bank, I can pay off the last bond. Now that we are debt free, I can start expanding on my city once again. Since I have already started on this part, I'm going to continue here. Now you do see here that I have placed my grid for RCR sector on top of this water, where I plan to have the large water and sewage plants, but that's okay because I'm only going to need them once the entire city goes to medium density. For now I can leave the low density sims here and get some taxes from them. My new neighborhood is now complete and I just need to add some other things. They are going to need a new school, so I need to plop a grade school for them. There we go. Now they're going to need school bus stops. I'm going to have the medium entrances and exits on the left side in this neighborhood, so that's where the bus stops are going to go. Now another thing that this part of the city is going to need is another clinic. And it's going to go right about here. And the third thing that this part of the city is going to need is a fire station. And I just got the money necessary for it. There we go. Now this second part of the city is fully operational. Now that I have expanded my city, 2 garbage trucks are not going to be enough. So I need to add a garbage truck garage to get 2 more garbage trucks. I can now build the mayor's house and get a boost of happiness for my sims. And I can also increase the land value by placing it maybe over here and getting more medium land value for the sims living onto this part of the city. This way I'm going to have some medium wealth, but not too many, because they not only take up more space and not only do they pay less taxes, and they also require more services to be happier. Therefore I try to minimize the number of medium wealth and have a 0 number of high wealth sims in the cities that I expect to be my money makers when I start the region. Well, this is now looking pretty nice. This part of the city is going to expand. This one has been finished. This one has been finished for a long time. I can just build this Department of Education here and get this mission finished, get my 20,000. There we go. I can now build a high school later on if I have too many children for the libraries and the grade schools to handle. I'm going to stop being specialized in education, so I don't keep getting these missions that I do not even wish to do. And that would be all for this episode. I'm going to leave you with this nice view of the city. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.